Looking to grow your business on TikTok? Introducing TikTok ads. With TikTok Ads Manager, the possibilities for your business are endless. Reach over 1 billion active users across the globe, unleash your creativity with their range of advertising solutions, and stay on top of your campaign's performance. Join the 8.5 million Aussies who are on TikTok every month, alongside over 350,000 Aussie businesses already thriving. Whether you want to increase brand awareness, drive sales, or connect with your audience, TikTok Ads Manager has got you covered. Ready to take your business to the next level? Try TikTok Ads Manager today and watch your business grow on TikTok.
Welcome to The Checkout. We catch up with previous Add to Cart guests and ask them 5 quick questions to get to know them better and leave you with a little extra inspiration to get through your Friday. Here's your host, Bushy.
Today's Checkout features Michael Jankie, Gary Tramer and Andrei Safonau, co-founders of NATPAT. They're a brand creating wearable stickers for kids that are infused with essential oils to offer a range of solutions to everyday problems. There's a patch to repel mozzies, one to aid sleep, and even a sensory patch to alleviate stress and anxiety. NATPAT started as a D2C brand and have sold millions of stickers worldwide. They are now stocked in retailers throughout Australia, as well as the US, UK, and parts of Europe. And even Kim Kardashian is on the NATPAT train. Michael, Gary, Andrei, thank you for joining us on the Checkout. We had a great main chat in there around NATPAT and what you've built there. Everything from how Kim Kardashian found you as a brand organically through to your expansion internationally through Amazon and through retail channels. Incredible stories so far, but I've got 5 quick questions to get to know you guys a little bit better. So number 1, what's the weirdest thing that you've ever bought online? Michael, I'll start with you.
That's probably safe so Gary can think about, some safe for work conversations to talk about. Listen, I love buying weird things. Like, my wife, often laughs about the packages that gets like, what strange thing is this today? The weirdest thing, there's a lot of entertainment value that goes on in our house, but something I bought, it's actually a while ago now, but it was online. It was this latex thing, and you load it up with some sort of liquid. This is sounding weird, but
I didn't know where you're going with this.
It's like you push it in and it's like popping pimples. Anyway, I thought that would be a great gift for my wife. Just, something to attack. It's super weird.
That is cool. That is weird. That fits the bill of the question. Well done. Andrei.
Weirdest thing. Have you heard of those stickers that repel mosquitoes? Honestly, sometimes I have to buy from our own website, and just to be on the other side and just buying and putting my own cart and just being customer for yourself is just very weird feeling. I should say, like I've never experienced anything before.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Gary?
Bought one of my best mates for his 40th a sex toy for him to use, and I was on Amazon and he asked me to return it because it didn't fit. So there you go.
That is fantastic. Well, at least it didn't go to waste. Number 2, which retailer has inspired you most recently? Andrei, I'll start with you.
I was actually in the United States where we visited this retail called Shields in Minnesota, and this store was like a really amusement park for kids. It was selling like outdoor camping gear and so on, but it has like so many attractions, lovely stuff. Kids are browsing around and wow. First of all, I understand why parents bring their kids to this store, but at the same time, it's the best place for us. A lot of inspiration just to see.
How to bring a brand to life, like when you're playing in that area. That's fantastic. Gary?
I'm going to be boring and say Target. We're in Target in the US, and just the way in which they're thinking about our product, serving the customer, and the speed in which they can help serve the customer so well, particularly our target audience, which are mums with young kids, is quite amazing. And the speed in which they're moving, especially with us and our product line, is really, really impressive.
That's awesome. Michael?
So I'm going to give you 2, a physical one and then an online retailer. Physical one, I was over in Hawaii not long ago and went into what was like a Toys R Us, but it was for candy. the kids' candy. And it was really interesting to see store layout, just sort of how they map a customer journey through a store and get them to buy different things and see different things. But also playing with eye levels. What was really interesting was the older you were, the more age appropriate the height of the product was. So it was just, I don't know, that sort of stuff. Part of it's like my entrepreneurial brain. I walk into a restaurant and don't look at the menu. I count how many tables there are and how full it is to try and work out the unit economics of that business. Anyway, so this candy store was gigantic, but it was really interesting in the way that they were not just putting different candies on the shelf and see what sells, but actually optimizing for age, optimizing for height, those sort of things, and optimizing the journey through the store to buy things. So that was a really interesting study. Online retail, listen, there's a lot that interests me, and we look at a lot, and it's really hard with online. So we look at a lot, but you can say things look nice and things look pretty, but it's all about how does it convert. A junk website might convert better than the most highly polished website, but a highly polished website might build the brand a little bit better than others. There's one I've done a bunch of shopping from myself, not for myself, but as gifts. And I get their emails and socials as well. Journey of Something, which started off as a puzzle company. I think, I don't know, they're just that package of the way that they promote, way the website's built, and they're probably up to thousands of SKUs now, and probably started with 5 or 6.
Are they really? So I haven't bought there for a while. I bought back when they were a puzzle company, but haven't been back since.
I think just really, really interesting product, but also just a lovely layout and tie-in of all channels, which I think just, is very big for brand building. And, they're selling $60 or $70 puzzles, which in reality, as a packaged goods company, I understand that, their cost of manufacture is much lower, but they've got to build in all their costs to get a sale. You can buy these products cheaper elsewhere, or similar things elsewhere, but what they really nail is the desirability of the product and its unique differences that make you, push up your ability to spend.
Yeah, great examples. Thank you. All right, third question. Name a piece of tech that you or your e-commerce business couldn't live without. Gary, I'm going to start with you.
I'd say Slack. And I'd say the reason I'd say that is because we have a distributed team. We work asynchronously. And without that, I have no idea how we would be able to organize.
Yep. Perfect. Michael?
I'm going to give you 2. One is Shopify, mostly for the obvious reasons, but they've been doing it for 20 odd years, but democratizing, online retail. It is amazing. So we run a multi-8-figure business. We sell globally, all different currencies, all different tax collections, all different product listing, all these sort of things that, like what we do for, a few $1,000s a month that we pay Shopify, it is wild.
And you're Shopify Plus?
Yeah, we are Shopify Plus. It is wild what we can do. And it's still like, whilst I will complain, and please don't tell Shopify too much about this, but like I will complain about costs, because we like to save money wherever we can. It still amazes me that, we pay Shopify less than we pay our email platform. And the Shopify team are great. And we've got, merchant services managers that we've been dealing with currently and over the years that like it's sort of, they find solutions.
Yeah.
The other one is actually Airwallex. So I deal with a lot of the operational finance, legal side of the business. And again, we operate a global business, multi-currency, moving money all over the, backwards and forwards. And, dealing with a neobank is phenomenal. Like it's from like multiple currency bank accounts to abilities to do direct deposits to charging to foreign exchange. It's just, I don't know, I have ANZ or Combank or NAB call me and pitch different things. And it's just like, they just can't do it and they can't move quickly. And so just as a operational thing, again, we're a fully remote business, but the banking infrastructure provided by Airwallex for us, and, there are a few others, it's just phenomenal. Like Airwallex has probably only been around for 4 or 5 years. You just couldn't we couldn't operate our business the way we operate our business without it.
That's awesome. I've spoken to the team there, but I haven't gone deep in Airwallex, but it's always great to hear it firsthand from the people that use it. So thank you for that. Andrei, any e-commerce tech that you can't live without?
I'll give it to you as well. One of those is Meta Media Buying Engine. I've been doing performance marketing for 15 years roughly, right? I've seen different verticals, different clients, and to this date, no one can match what Facebook is doing across acquisition of customers. It's impressive how they managed to progress. It's impressive how they managed to deploy the AI across the product suite. And it's just blood for all those, DTC companies that just rely on them. And I think we are as well to a big degree. If it will not matter, I don't know, who will be using. I maybe will go old school way, but not in DTC commerce world.
And are you mainly using Meta's Advantage Plus?
Well, it's a big thing.
Okay,
it's a
we won't
rabbit
go
hole.
into that.
Yeah, we'll do everything. We try to, if Meta has a tool, we try to use that. It maybe not work as good as their best tool, but in the world of incrementality, we try to use everything. There is a reason for it. So that's putting aside. Second tool, I would say ChatGPT has been, when it was released, our company has already been a couple of years old. And, I just see that these days how our all operations changed massively, how we have cut down costs, how, when we had to hire freelancers, hire different contractors to help do these things, or they took us days. Now it's just so easy. I'm in ChatGPT a few hours every day just to brainstorm ideas, to pump the copy, to analyze something. It's such a big, different game changer. It's made my life so much efficient.
Amazing. Great tips. Thank you, guys. Number 4, can you recommend a book or a podcast that our listeners should immediately get into? Michael?
Most of my reading is actually online, so I'm not a heavy book reader, and I'm actually not a heavy podcast listener. So I don't know, but I will spend too much time on Twitter, and I use Twitter as an education piece. So I don't use LinkedIn as an educational piece. I would say I use Twitter just to deep dive into things. And it's sort of funny. So internally, Gary, Andrei, and I run a Slack channel called Swipes, Marketing Swipes. And often it's, all of us really posting things that we've seen on Twitter, interesting tidbits, takeaways, those sorts of things. So I'm going to say, aside from your podcast, Nathan, people should be, I don't know, just I'm a consumer on Twitter, not a poster. And we've actually got some team members that have totally come, actually 2 of our key roles have totally come from, what was people just posting, saying on Twitter, and us going, what you're talking about, you're interesting. We'd love to work together.
Yeah, beautiful. Great tip. Andrei?
Can recommend podcast operators, 9-figure operators. There is a spin-off of marketing operators. That's $9-figure businesses, right? $500 million businesses out there that we aspire to. And a lot of things they share, are ahead of us, but at the same time, I personally can benefit a lot. And I think businesses who are in 8 figures or 7 can do as well. Highly recommend to listen to those guys.
Beautiful. And that's a theme that I got from our main episode with you guys, is that you're always looking for the operators or the people who are that 2-3 steps ahead of you, and focusing your efforts to learn and upskill on those people who are at that next stage to level up. So that was a great tip, I think, out of that and what you're saying there, Andrei. Gary,
I do things differently. I would say we're also looking for things differently. If someone else, here's the playbook, here's the process, no, definitely we're not following that. Let's find someone who's done things a different way. Even though if they're not big, but different, that will be way more interesting for us.
Perfect. That's awesome. Gary, books or podcasts?
I find fascinating the Acquired podcast, for those that have listened to that, or I recommend it, just because I really love the way they tear down over 3 to 5 hours of business, and the 7 powers, the Hamilton 7 powers, and the different ways different businesses tackle that. And then to Andrei's point, trying to find little angles that we could apply for ourselves just to expand the mind, like listening to NVIDIA's story or Microsoft's story or, Berkshire Hathaway's story, but with such granular detail around the strategies and the things that, these pivotal moments that created success, I find fascinating.
Yeah, that's absolutely. That podcast is phenomenal, but gives me PTSD. Trying to put that level of content and that level of detail together, I'm like, oh my God, it's just phenomenal, the effort that goes into it. Now, I'm going to throw the last question out to all of you. Whoever wants to jump in can jump in. What is your biggest challenge today?
Biggest challenge is rolling out the new packaging and branding, because we are scrappy. And I see online, some people are selling our products that are or branding that are a couple of years old, and we are all excited to roll out a new one that's very different. how can we actually marry those together and there is a transition plan and we don't really alienate like our core fans, but also like introduce new fresh things? That's a challenge. And just from operations perspective as well, from logistics and website transition and like all our partners. That's the thing.
Fantastic. It sounds like we talked a lot about that around the challenge of how do you bring all those channels together so they complement each other rather than work against it. It sounds like you're doing a great job there. So Michael, Gary, Andrei, thank you so much for joining us on the checkout.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
To hear more from Michael, Gary and Andrei, jump back into episode 419 where we delve into NATPATThe's channel marketing mix and how it works. The team also share how they position themselves as the original and the best in market and how they combat the copycats that keep coming. We also hear how Kim Kardashian herself endorsed their product without them knowing and without any payment at all. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep adding to cart.